Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Learn Quran with Inam, and this is your teacher Muhammad Inam. Today we are going to learn lesson number 13 of Madani qaida in English, inshallah. And in this lesson, I am going to teach you what is tashdid, what is mushaddad, and how mushaddad letter is read, as well as how to read Noon Mushaddad and Mim Mushaddad, and how Mushaddad Kalkala letters should be pronounced. I will tell you all these things before starting the lesson number 13, and after learning these rules, we will learn lesson number 13 with spelling and without spelling, inshallah. So let's start. First of all, we will discuss what's name of this lesson. What is name of this lesson? So lesson 13 name is tashdid. So question will be made, what is tashdid? What's mean of tashdid? So can you see here small w? You can say to like w type shape is called tashdid. W small w type sign is called tashdid. So next question, what is mushaddad? So a letter which has a tashdid on, a letter which has a tashdid sign on, it's called mushaddad. So it's very simple and easy. Next question is how mushaddad letter is pronounced. Mushaddad letter is pronounced with the mutaharrik letter. If you want to learn properly definition, you can read this definition, you can learn this definition first by joining it with mutaharrik letter before and then by its own harkat. You can say to like mushaddad letter will be read with the mutaharrik letter coming before it, and after that with his own harkat. So that is the answer of this question. Next question is how Noon Mushaddad and Mim Mushaddad is pronounced. Noon Mushaddad and Mim Mushaddad are read with gunna, always with gunna. You must have to do gunna in these two letters. Next question, how Mushaddad Kalkala letters are pronounced. Mushaddad Kalkala letters are pronounced with stress, with emphasis. You can say to like you were learning in lesson number 11, you were learning in lesson number 11 about kalkala letters, sakin kalkala letters. So sakin kalkala letters are pronounced with echo, like quickly, and mushaddad kalkala letters will be read with emphasis. I will tell you practically how mushaddad kalkala letters should be pronounced, inshallah. So let's start this lesson. We will read one line with spelling and second line without spelling. This way we will learn whole lesson number 13. So you will have to revise after me. I will teach you first word, then you will have to I will give you time like 1 to 2 seconds, and you have to repeat in this time. So let's start it. Keep revising after me. Hamza ta zabar at, ta zabar ta, atta. Hamzah ta zir it, ta zabar ta, itta. Hamzah ta pesh ut, ta zabar ta, utta. We have read this letter with spelling one time. Now we are going to repeat this letter without spell. Atta, itta, utta. Next letter is ta. Ta is kalkala mushaddad letter, and we will have to read this letter with emphasis, with stress. How to read? So revise after me. Hamza ta zabar out to. We were doing kalkala in lesson number 11. Hamza ta zabar ato, because we were doing kalkala sakina. Now we are doing kalkala mushaddad. That's why we have to make stress, emphasis. Hamza ta zabar out to, ta zabar to, out to. So we can't read this letter atta because ta is kalkala mushaddad letter as well as musta'aliya. So that's why we'll have to read this letter with thicker voice and with stress. Next letter is hamza ta zir it to, to zabar to, it to. Hamza to pesh utto. To zabar to utto. Now we are going to repeat all words without spell. Atto, itto, utto. So next line, we will read this line without spell. And remember one thing, za is superior letter. Okay, that's why za will be read with whistle sound as well as with hard sound. Okay, because za is superior letter. Dal will be read with soft sound and without making whistle sound. That is the difference between za and dal. So let's read this line without spell. Azza, izza, uzza. And dal will be read without whistle sound. Adha, idha, udha. Next letter is dha. So we will read with thicker voice because dha is musta'aliya letter and we can't read this letter with whistle sound like azza. It will be wrong. We will read it adha. Okay. So let's read with spelling. Hamza, dha, zabar al. Dha, zabar dha. Al, hamza, dha, zir il. Dha, zabar dha. Il, hamza, dha, pesh ul. Dha, zabar dha. Ul. Now without spell. Allah, illah, ullah. You can't read Allah, illah, Allah. It's not wrong, but not a good way to read. If you want to read properly, like correctly, then you should make difference like Allah, illah, Allah instead of Allah, illah, Allah. Okay, so next letter is tha. Tha is not superior letter, that's why we can't read this letter with whistle sound. Hamza, tha, zabar ath. Tha, zabar tha. Ath, hamza, tha, zir ith. Tha, zabar tha. Ith, hamza, tha, pesh uth. Tha, zabar tha. Utha. Now all letters without spell. Atha, itha, utha. Sin is superior letter, that's why we will have to read this letter with whistle sound. So let's read it. Hamza, sin, zabar as. Sin, zabar sa. Assa. Hamza, sin, zir is. Sin, zabar sa. Issa. Hamza, sin, pesh us. Sin, zabar sa. Ussa. Now without spell. Assa, issa, ussa. Now Sod. Sod is musta'aliya letter as well as safiriya. So it will be read with thicker voice and with whistle sound. So let's read it. Hamza, Sod, zabar as. Sod, zabar sa. As-sa. Hamza, Sod, zir is. Sod, zabar sa. Is-sa. Hamza, Sod, pesh us. Sod, zabar sa. Ussa. Now all letters without spell. Assa, issa, ussa. So next letter is dal. Dal is kalkala mushaddad letter. So we will have to do kalkala with emphasis. So let's read it. Hamza, dal, zabar ad. Dal, zabar da. Adda. Hamza, dal, zir id. Dal, zabar da. idda. Hamzah dal pesh ud. Dal zabarda udda. Now without spell all letters. Adda, idda, udda. Next letter is dod. Dod is musta'ali letter, so we have to read with thicker voice. Hamza dod zabar ad. Dod zabar do. Ad. Hamza dod zir id. Dod zabar do. Id. Hamza dod pesh ud. Dod zabar do. Ud. Ad. Id. Ud. Next letter is kaf, and we will have to read this letter with thin voice. Hamzah kaf zabar ak. Kaf zabar ka. We will read this line without spell because we read this line with spelling. So first of all, I would like to tell you this kaf is simple kaf, like you have to read with thin voice, and this kaf is mustaliya letter, okay, as well as kalkala mushaddad. So you have to read this letter with kalkala with stress, and with thicker voice. Okay, you have to do two things for reading this letter. So let's read it. Let's read this line. Akka, ikka, ukka. Now cough with thicker voice and with emphasis. Akka, ikka, ukka. Next letter is ha, and first of all I would like to tell you difference between these letters. This letter is ha, okay. Ha, this letter is pronounced from bottom part of your throat with deeper sound, and this letter is ha. Ha will be pronounced with from middle part of your throat with high sound, okay. So these are different letters. They have different pronunciation, they have different sound, they have different translation. That's why we will have to make clear difference between these letters, okay. So let's read it. Hamza ha zabar ah. Ha zabar ha. Aha. Hamza ha zir ih. Ha zabar ha. Iha. Hamza ha pesh Ha zabar ha. Uha. Now all words without spell. Aha, iha, uha. So next letter is ha, and we will have to read from bottom part of the throat. Hamza ha zabar ah. Ha zabar ha. Aha. Hamza ha zir ih. Ha zabar ha. Iha. Hamza ha pesh Ha zabar ha. Uha. Aha. Iha. Uha. So next letter is Ain, and we will read this line without spell. Revise after me. A, I, U. Next letter Akho, Ikho, Ukho. Next letter is Ba. Ba is Kalkala Mushaddad letter, and we will have to read this letter with Kalkala Mushaddad, like with emphasis. So revise after me. Hamza ba zabar ab. Ba zabar ba. Abba. Hamza ba zir ib. Ba zabar ba. Ibba. Hamza ba pesh ub. Ba zabar ba. Ubba. Now without spell. Abba, ibba, ubba. Next letter is mim, and Mim mushaddad and Noon mushaddad. These two letters will be read with gunna. Okay, you must have to do gunna for reading Mim mushaddad and Noon mushaddad. Remember this thing. Let's read it. Hamzah Mim Zabar Mim Zabar Amma. Hamzah Mim Zir Mim Zabar Imma. Hamzah Mim Pesh Mim Zabar Umma. Now all letters without spell. Amma, Imma, Umma. So next letter is Vaw. We will read this line without spell. Awwa, Iwwa, Uwwa. Affa, Iffa, Uffa. Lam will be read with spelling. Hamzah Lam Zabar Al. Lam Zabar La. Alla. Hamzah Lam Zir Il. Lam Zabar La. Illa. Hamzah Lam Pesh Ul. Lam Zabar La. Ulla. Now all letters without spell. Alla, Illa, Ulla. Next letter is Noon and Noon is Mushaddad. That's why we have to read with Gunna. Hamzah Noon Zabar An. Noon Zabarna. Anna. Hamzah Noon Zir In. Noon Zabarna. Inna. Hamzah Noon Pesh Un. Noon Zabarna. Unna. Now without spell. Anna, Inna, Unna. Next letter is Ra. We will read this line without spell. Arra, Irra, Urra. Next letter is Jim. Kalkala Mushaddad letter. Ajja, Ijja, Ujja. Next letter is Sheen, and we have to read this letter with spelling. Hamza, Sheen, Zabar Ash. Sheen, Zabar Sha. Asha. Hamza, Sheen, Zir Ish. Sheen, Zabar Sha. Isha. Hamza, Sheen, Pesh Ush. Sheen Zabar Sha. Usha. Now without spell. Asha, Isha, Usha. Next letter is Ya, and we will read with spelling. Hamza Ya Zabar Aj. Ya Zabar Ya. Ayya. Hamza Ya Zir Ij. Ya Zabar Ya. Ija. Hamza Ya Pesh Uj. Ya Zabar Ya. Ujja. Without spell. Ayya, Ija, Ujja. And we have learned first part of lesson number 13. Tomorrow we will learn second part, and day after tomorrow third part. Inshallah we will learn this way. We will learn whole lesson number 13 with spell and without spell, inshallah. If you couldn't understand anything in this lesson, and if you want to ask any questions, you can use my WhatsApp. Send me voice message please for asking any question. Don't call me. Inshallah I will try my best to give you answer of your question. And if you like this video, then share with your family, friends and relatives, as well as subscribe this channel. Tomorrow we will come again. Remember me in your prayers. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.